Right, we've just had the 6 hours of Interlagos, and given that in the couple of weeks we've got until it's more than a couple of weeks until Lone Star Le Mans and Kota, the entire schedule could change. Let's just have a look at the here and now. Let's just have a look at the results of the race and the impact that it has on the championship. And to start off with, well done to that number 15 crew, right? Like, at the end of the day, you have to be there to be able to get the results, and they played the strategy game well. They weren't necessarily the outright fastest all weekend long. You could probably send that the way of the Hard Team Joe to Cadillacs, to be honest. But yeah, they end up getting the win. Climbs them up into 6th place in the standings and 7th place for Dries Santor, who was not there for Imola. But it's a great start, isn't it? And it means 2 wins for BMW this year. Both of their cars have won races. This is fantastic news. And it shows you that for all the complaints that we have about Bob and the fact that it got, privated and is hidden information now because the FIA and the ACO kept on getting criticised for it. And famously, there was the Kamui Kobayashi thing last year, which was doing the Jose Mourinho, if I speak, I am big trouble. It can work out a little bit. I mean, if you're Ferrari, you're probably shaking your fists, right? I mean, 2nd place in the end, bouncing back from a 5th place at Le Mans, where they just looked uncompetitive. And, I mean, they did get a 2nd place the season opener in Imola. But, at the same time, it's nice to see some kind of balance. I've got to admit, though, I do feel for the 7. Mechanical issues. They came off the back of the win in Le Mans. And they were championship leaders. Now they're tied for the championship lead. But, yeah, you do have to feel for them a little bit. Elsewhere, looking at the results. Yeah, it was a 3-4 for Cadillac. The 83 was in 5th ahead of the 007. We ended up with quite a few cars on the lead lap at the end of this. 11 cars are on the lead lap. The Alpines were, and I mean, we saw the Alpines fighting up towards the front. I know there was a little bit where it was to do with like pit stop desync and penalties come in and play a role as well. But yeah, it was great to see a variety of cars with a variety of manufacturers up at the front. Heck, the bad luck for Genesis does continue, yes. But at the same time, whilst the bad luck does continue for Genesis, it could have been a whole lot worse. Poor Peugeot, by the way, all the way down towards the tail end of the field. Meanwhile, in LM and GT3, it was the 34 that took the win from the 69, from the 92 Corvette from BMW, from Porsche, with the Manthey 91 in 4th, and the 88 Proton in 5th. It was nice to see names like Logan Sargent up towards the top end of the field, because I know he gets a lot of shtick for the time he had in F1, but to get to F1, even if you're getting in there through sponsorship, these days you have to be a competent enough driver to get the super license points. They don't just give out the buys for no particular reason. I mean, look at the Colton Herta case, for example. So it's nice to see that kind of variety, that kind of balance, and when you look at the manufacturers, you have, 6 different manufacturers in the top 7? 8 in the top 9? It shows you that GT3, at the very least, can be a very balanced category, where it can come down to luck, it can come down to drivers, it can come down to just raw potential and talent. I do wish that they'd publish the BOP numbers, though. I know IMSA is still doing it, and it's quite nice to see. Because IMSA can be a very, very balanced thing, even though it has the same stuff as the ACO does for the World Endurance Championship. Is it to do with the caliber of drivers? I don't know. I would say that the caliber of drivers is relatively similar across the 2 categories. Especially when you look at who's doing factory efforts here and there, and who they put into those factory efforts. Either way, the impact on the standings is as follows. The WRT, it's not even the 15, is it, that ends up with it? It's a 20, is joint first in the standings with the 7. Sheldon van der Linde is on his own in 3rd because he didn't do Imola. And then it goes the way of the number 50 Ferrari, followed by the number 8 Toyota, followed by the number 15. I've kind of glossed over it a little bit. When you look at the drivers who were driving in that car that won, Dries Santor, amazing. Raffaele Marciello, legendary in the GT racing scene. He's still building up his hypercar portfolio, and a win is fantastic stuff. And hey, Kevin Magnussen, K-Mag, who's off the back of having caused a little bit of drama in his NASCAR debut, ends up with a win in the World Endurance Championship. I mean, in terms of World Championship wins, he probably would have wanted F1. He got his podium on debut, didn't he, in 2014, and then never saw a podium after that. But he's a World Endurance Championship event winner now. It's fantastic. So they're in 6th, ahead of the lead Cadillac Hearts Team Jota for Norman Nato and Will Stevens. And I do have to say, at the same time, Jack Aitken, man, he has had a run of luck. I know we're talking about the different Cadillac here, but 4th place, given that his previous 2 appearances in WEC this season have both been retirements, it's something. But he was running up at the front for quite a lot of this race, and you could argue still the top 5 is up towards the front. But given how well his IMSA season's going, I can't help but feel that he kind of wanted more. In LMGT3, it is Johnny Edgar with the championship lead, and then it's his teammates in Nicky Katzberg and Ben Keating who are behind, because they haven't done all of the events. After that, it is the Bend Mantai in 4th for Leitz, Pereira and Shaheen. And then in 5th place is the WRT of Harper, McIntosh and Thompson. That's number 69. So, well done to all of them for keeping up in the standings. In fact, you look at the number, the Racing Team Turkey car that ended up taking the win, the number 34. And they've jumped up to 6th in the standings. A 9th, a 6th and a win. It's not really absolutely anyone's game, because the main TF Sport car, in particular Johnny Edgar, is on 76 points. The next closest is 49 points. And it looks like we're going to have a round of 6-hour races to round out the season, which means that he's got over a race in hand by any stretch. As for manufacturers and teams, Toyota are currently leading the manufacturers on 132 from 127 for BMW. Ferrari are in 3rd on 88. And then in MGT3 teams, well, it's like we said, the 33 from the 92, the 69 from the 34. Anyways, folks, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, thanks for continued support on this channel. Hope to see you around for more very soon, but until then, bye for now.